Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed. And as always, man, I got another good one here for you. Now, where I'm at, the weather is terrible, but where my next guest come from, man, the weather is always shining. And I'm glad. And I feel like that's a reflection of our next guest because every time they post something on IG, it's always in a fresh fit. Like you see right now, fresh fit. I don't know what to do. I can't keep up. I'm gonna go broke if I try
Listen,
to keep up with this person right here,
no,
man.
you
Like
better
I
go to
can't.
Ross. This is Ross. This is Ross. One of these sleeves is irregular.
Well, with the irregular sleep, bro, let's give it up for K. Dot. Everybody,
Let's
welcome to the
go.
podcast.
Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I can't
What's
wait
going
to get
on? How
that
you doing?
applause. I'm good. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm chilling in sunny California. That's what he's
Yeah,
talking about. I'm chilling. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, one thing I gotta say about you, you are probably like the nicest person. I mean, I know we never met, but you are like very, very nice. Like you be saying
uh,
yes, sir, and stuff. I'm like, I'm only 32. Like
It's okay. I was raised right.
that is true. A lot of people was not raised right, man. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm so glad we got you on. Like, I
Yes.
got was talking beforehand. I reached out to you before the engagement. So I'm glad we got you here. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it. I got to get there to y'all. Come fuck up
it.
your fuck up your reception.
Are you dating anybody right now?
No, I'm too difficult. That's what I've been told. I'm told
Yeah,
I'm difficult.
yeah,
So no,
yeah.
not currently. So I am available.
Man, listen, we've had our first wedding talk, and I'm like, you know what? Let's not do it. Like, not do it.
I
Let's
mean,
not do it. I
I've
mean,
been thinking.
yeah, like we've been planning away for a while, but like when we sat down and like actually like discuss numbers, like yeah, I'm like, you
That's a
know what?
contract. Like a marriage is a contract.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm thinking about asking for a prenup, but I don't have any assets.
I mean, you might preemptively get them. Like
Yeah,
it's just
but
one of
you know how
yeah.
niggas be like they be saying stuff gonna happen. When I get my money, come in. I'm gonna
Right.
give you a car, and then the money never come, and you never get a
Listen, you
car.
you you can have her sign a napkin right now. And you could jot some stuff down. That is tangible evidence in court.
Yeah, my fault. I had to write that down. I feel like that's a good tag or a good joke. Prenup, but no assets. But yeah, like I really don't have anything. I'm like,
Yeah, I really don't have I don't have
like
nothing.
what do I look like coming to her and talk about let's sign a prenup? Because like that just I don't know. Yeah, but
It's just thinking forward. It's just you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it is. Yeah, yeah. But I feel like bad if I ask for a prenup because like I don't know, like she might like let's say it don't work out and she leave me and she be like, and this nigga wanted me to sign a prenup. Like, I don't want those. I
Well, it
don't
don't
want
matter now because y'all ain't together. She can say whatever she wants.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm saying, or you could be like, you can get one too, dear. I'll sign one for you. Would you sign a pre? If she asked you for a prenup, would you sign it?
Yeah, I would sign it. I would sign
Yeah.
it.
See.
What show was we watching? It's a show that we was watching and they were talking about prenups and like I could swear like the atmosphere was just changing here because it's like should we have that conversation or not? Like we was trying to avoid it, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna have that conversation with her about prenup.
It
But
just depends. Like, if you guys move to California, yes, get a prenup because in the court system, it doesn't work out in your favor.
are you when you tie the knot, you gonna sign a prenup?
um, Probably not because if she was with me from the come up, like you know, I'm gonna give you what you deserve. Like you was there, so
That's
you
how I
know, I
feel.
don't I don't feel like I don't feel like you being greedy. I feel like you asking for what you deserve if we don't make it. You feel me?
Yeah, that's how I feel. But then like
And then it's just like, well, I worked hard for it. You wasn't in the gym shooting. You wasn't in the gym.
that is how I feel because I like every not every joke, but like the majority of my jokes, I at least run it by her. Like, what do you think about this? And so I feel
Oh,
like
see.
if it,
Well, now
if it
she's
was
your
a
partner.
Yeah, I feel like if a joke blow up, then it's like, bam, like she at least get cut half or whatever. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about women though. Like, even if you gave half, as women, we still gonna look out. Like, if you needed it back, we gonna give it to you. Unless you
Yeah.
just did some like way foul shit. Like, like if you had a baby outside your marriage or something, no, you're not getting a dime.
Yeah.
But if you just, it just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
You,
think I'm like having a baby outside of my marriage material. Like that's a lot of stress or like I don't see how people do that. Like, especially nowadays, it's hard to cheat, even if I
yeah.
wanted to.
Let me tell you why it's hard to cheat because you don't know whose story you're gonna end up in the background. Like
Yeah.
cheating is like you think you being covert, and then next you know you in somebody's story holding somebody else's hand.
That's like my worst fear today is like a R&B singer, because like then if it don't work out, I'm definitely gonna be on the song like and on the radio and stuff. I don't want that to happen.
No, but don't think that it's gonna work out.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna
I'm
definitely
actually
work
looking
out.
forward to it though. Like we don't live with each other right now. We were trying to figure out where she would live at, and
Hmm.
she quickly was like, "Yeah, I'll live here." Like hold
No, see, I
on.
don't. Y'all should get your own space. I always feel like if we move in together, like we should move into something together. Because
Yeah,
like it's if you come to my house, it's still like my house. I was here before you,
yeah, yeah.
and I don't want
We
to treat you like that.
Yeah, yeah, I know. We do plan on getting our own spot, but we wanna move after we get
Oh,
married. So we
okay.
was like we'll just stay here for a couple months or no longer than a year. Then we gonna dead. We gonna
I
dead.
mean, I'm sure she sleep over, so
Yeah.
it's nothing new.
Man, she made me want to get a bigger bed, man. Like I got a queen. I'm like, yeah, this ain't big enough. This ain't.
Right. I
Mm-mm.
mean, it's never gonna be big enough to be honest.
Yeah,
like, like it's always gonna be our space.
yeah, yeah, man.
So
Now,
like
one of the
it'll be
things
good.
that you do that I really enjoy, and I think a lot of people, some people notice it, some people don't, is that every time you go on stage, as I mentioned it, you dress really, really nice. Like,
Thank
why
you.
is the way that you dress so important to you, or like one of your top priorities?
I just like to look nice. Like I just do it for me. Like, and I like to be comfortable and like you know I kind of feel like that. Also, that's like my womanly thing. Like you know what I'm saying because I don't wear like dresses and get weaves. I just feel like oh like my outfit is where I throw my little feminine. let me let me put some outfits together. You know, so it's just like doing no makeup or no shit like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I
Yep.
also like you eat with your eyes. I told you I'm single, so I
Yeah.
gotta you gotta put it out there.
I've never heard that phrase before. You eat with your eyes.
Yeah, you eat with your eyes. Like if
Yeah.
something look nasty, you be like, no, thank you,
Mm.
because you
Are you
looked at it.
are you the type that when you eat, you smell it before you eat?
Um, no, I'm real picky. Like generally, I know what I'm gonna eat prior to eating it. So like,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not opposed to trying things, but if it look funny, I'd be like, fuck. But
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
def
try it. I've learned in my life you have to, give yourself experiences. So I'm gonna try it.
yeah,
But I'll
yeah.
I'll spit it out in a minute. Like I don't like it.
But not like when I was saying like you getting on stage and you dressing. One of the things why I feel like that's so important is because like you just never really know like who's out in the audience, and sometimes I think it helps with the jokes too. Because let's say, not saying that this is you, but like say,
Mhm.
like sometimes your joke may take too long to get to the punchline or it doesn't land. I think the way you dress can keep like the audience attention, because
On
sometimes
their
that is very
different.
hard.
Yeah, I just like I honestly I never thought about it like that. Like I just like to dress. So I was just
Yeah,
like, that's just my thing. So it wasn't
yeah,
ever like and I always do things for me. Like if you like how I dress, like I'm never one of those people that's gonna hold information. Like if you ask me where I got something, I'm be like, oh, I got it from here, but you probably can get it cheaper here. I'm one of them people because like if you look good, you know what I'm saying, you feel good, and that's
yeah.
a hobby.
So how did you decide to get on stage and hop on the mic? What made you start doing comedy?
Low key, I always been funny. You know what I'm saying? To me. But, I grew up in a time where like nobody poured into be a comedian. Like you know what I'm saying? That's not that's that's just not the air, that's not in our culture. You either go to school or go to the military.
Yeah.
So I just, I did all that. And then one day I woke up like on everything. One day I woke up and I was like, I want to do comedy. And I called off work and I went to the Laugh Factory and I sat out there for all those hours and wrote some jokes. Never did it. I just wrote some jokes because I knew in my mind, I'm like, I'm naturally funny, so I could do this. Did an open mic and like I got so much good feedback. I just never stopped. Like I was just like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like this is what I'm passionate about. It makes me so happy to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
also good. I'm very blunt. So like my humor is a good way for me to convey information that you may not be ready to receive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But if I make it funny, then you take it in better.
So when you were in the Laugh Factory, was that your first time going to like a comedy show just in general?
Yes, sir. That was my
So
first time.
what was your experience like? Because you like you said, you felt like you've always been funny, but then when you
hmm
go to somebody and they be funny for a living, like you saw the difference. So what was that like experience like?
For me, it made me realize there really ain't no blueprint to this shit. Like it's you figuring it out. Like because everybody funny is different. That's what I learned. Like by going to the shows and like actually practicing my craft, it's just like, oh, it's different types of humor. And like you should learn from that and just I learned like deliveries and like what my fan base would be based on my humor.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So that
No.
that's basically the experience I learned. And then like when you do these open mics, like when I did that, it was all comedians. So we all critique each other. I don't. Like if you funny, you funny. If you not, you not. Like, but I'm a laugh. Like I'm not gonna hold it in. I'm not like them fools will be in there laughing like ninjas, like at stupid shit. You be like, "Am I funny?" And like, so I really can't. I don't never base it on comedians because I kind of feel like we're just always in competition unless you build some kind of comedic family.
Yeah.
So like, I only take the feedback from an actual audience. So like, I just look at comedians and I admire their craft, but I'm like, it ain't no blueprint. Like, you do you. You figure out what your comedy is and you master that. Because
Yeah.
if you patent it after somebody else, you just live. You're not living your truth. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're doing whatever to get to the money, and like the money gonna come. So I'm not worried about it.
So how long did it take you when you went to the Laugh Factory for the first time and saw the comedy show? And how long was the time period before that day and the day that you went to go get on stage for the first time?
Uh, that was like I remember the day. It was in 2019. So I did that, and then maybe no joke, maybe like 3 months later, I got on the stage. Like I just got on. I was scared. You know what I'm saying? I was so scared. Like you do not know what the fuck you doing. But I was like, just get up there and be yourself. And it worked out. Like
Yeah.
I wrote some jokes, but I learned that I'm better at telling stories than writing jokes.
Okay. Okay.
So I can write jokes, but it's my storytelling of the jokes that I feel is more it makes me relatable and makes me
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
So
like it was like 2 months.
okay. Okay. So that first time you were up there, like talk about that experience from like driving to the mic, like signing up. Did you tell people this is your first time? Did you talk to comics when you went to the
I
mic? Like, what
did.
was that experience like?
So I drove there. I was very nervous, and then like you sit outside, but I got comfortable because we all felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of felt like a sisterhood and brotherhood. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you had a few people who was just like yeah, but
Yeah.
driving there, I was super nervous. I was just like, yo, you got a corporate job. You know what I'm saying? You make good money. Is this really what you is this really what you want to do? You went to college, bitch. So, but then I got there, and then like I waited in line all the time. Then when you get in there, and then you see like the pictures of comedic greats, and then you like, no lie, you can like feel that energy of like all those veteran comedians and all, what you aspire to be is in that building because they've all went through there,
Yeah.
all the greats. So that, and then just knowing like seeing the for me, like when I did get on stage and then you look out because you're just performing for other comedians, but like to see the hunger in all of our eyes, like we're all looking to see like, could they be next and are they funny? So like, it was overwhelming a bit, but it felt right, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So your first time was at an actual club?
Was at the what you call it, the haha club. Yeah, it was at an actual club. And
Okay.
it's crazy. Also, I ended up doing a show there the next day, and all my like good friends came, and I didn't know. Like they didn't tell me they bought tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when I came out on the stage that second time, I was like, shit. Now all these niggas here. Now I really gotta be funny.
So like you
But
said you
it
said
worked
you
out.
said the next day?
Yeah,
So
because
how
they
did you
like me. They say like they was like, oh, you're funny, and I was like, thanks. Yeah. And then I lied. I was lying like a motherfucker. They was like, "How long you been doing comedy?" I was like, "Oh, 2 years." Like, oh, we have a show tomorrow. Great! I'd love to be on it. I'd love to be
so
on it.
so I'm assuming you didn't bomb on day 2, right?
No, like I'm a very confident person, but I know I'm funny because the things I say are just relatable things to our everyday life.
Yeah, yeah,
And so like I'm gonna if I made my friend laugh or my aunt laugh with these same little things and I'm tweaking it a little bit, I know it'll go over with these crowds.
yeah, yeah.
So it did, you know, and it
So
worked out, and now I'm here.
so you went up there and you was like, "Yeah, I've been doing comedy for 2 years." Basically, you just took advantage of your opportunity. And what other ways in your comedic career so far have you taken advantage of opportunities?
um, Haphazardly, I stumbled upon like so. I do a podcast Monday, Wednesday, and Friday called Speedy and Friends. So like somebody just told me to go up to his podcast one day on the whim, and like I went, and he thought I was just really funny, and he was like, "Can you come back?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I came back, and he was like, "Just do the show, just keep coming back." And that's when I was like, "Oh man, like I can really do this." So like
Yeah,
I utilize that opportunity, offer referral, but it's also like how we move around individually as comedians. I'm not a fan of because it's very crabs in a barrel, and I'm not like that. So
yeah,
like I I I I wish more opportunities will open up, but like once someone sees talent in you, then they start kind of stepping away from. So I kind of feel like I lost more opportunities because I gained so many opportunities really quickly that other people who have been working harder than me, now they're like, well, I'm not gonna present you with shit just
yeah,
that quick because you kind of popping before me. But like little
yeah,
do they know, like I'm my foot in the door, like yo, like when I'm in, you in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't even trip.
Yeah, I've been learning that you definitely gotta ask for more opportunities.
Hmm.
And that does help. Um, but I haven't experienced like somebody like trying to like hold me back because they felt like it was their turn and not my turn.
Well,
I
that's
can
because you're
see
not
how
in
that'd be different.
California. If
That
you
is
came
true.
out here, because it's just everybody. It's a grind out here because it's so expensive to live here. So
Mhm.
like you have to like you jump at every opportunity that you think will be monetary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that's why it's a little more. I feel it's a little more cutthroat out here because if somebody's been out here for 6 or 7 years now perfecting their craft, and then like a newcomer come because they just it's just I just think that's a natural human thing. Like I've been putting in the work and I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And you haven't.
So prostitutes out there are taking at least 22 a day. Okay.
Probably, like, you know what I'm saying? And we don't have no season, so they can work like
Yeah,
a lot.
that is
they
true.
can they
That
can
is
work a
true.
lot.
I feel like prostitution has changed. I don't know why I brought that up, but prostitution has changed
No,
a lot now. You can do it
we
online.
can. Not only that though, like they're attractive. Like a lot of these prostitutes, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these prostitutes aren't on drugs. They're not doing it for the drugs. They doing it for the money. So I'm like, damn girl, you escort? Fuck.
Now you said earlier a word that I wrote down that stood
I,
out to me. You said fan base. So what
mm-hmm.
does your fan base look like? And the reason why I ask is because we don't really I don't feel like I feel like comedians like we're starting to give more people opportunities, but I just feel like we just have one or like we've been in like one look for a while. And I think with the world progressing, we need to have more different channels of avenues for people to relate to. And
I agree.
with that being said, what does your fan base specifically look like?
They're like, it's blacks and then it's niggas. Right now it's the niggas. But I can be in every room, but I'm always gonna prioritize us. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna be the gays aren't really a fan of me.
really? Why?
But
Why?
it
Why? Why not?
because like I'm black before I'm gay. So I'm never on a
Oh
gay
yeah,
agenda.
yeah.
And then I just feel like I tell people all the time the most anti-gay gay person you're ever gonna meet.
That's funny.
Because it's too much. The gays do too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's not black gays. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that there's racism in the community. Is there really or
it's it's racism in community because the agenda it's not it's to me like it's a white agenda because you everything that gays are advocating for black people are advocating for too.
yeah,
We want equality.
yeah.
We want so to me it's like come join the niggas. You know what I'm saying? And we want the same things.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So
why
it's
I,
just
that's
like
why my fault. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I'm sorry, no, go ahead. Yeah.
That's why I don't really understand when black people don't really support people of the LGBT get my letters right, LGBTQ A
Listen,
plus
I don't care.
A.
Q, elemental P, QRX, TZ,
I
all
feel
that
like
shit.
yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be much of a struggle for us to support whether we agree or not because for simple fact we both deal with the same thing, which is discrimination, pretty much.
I mean, I'm very understanding of it, but like I said, when you're in the community, it's just more so like you're fighting for you want to struggle. Like, why do you want to struggle? Because the majority, if you're a white gay, you don't have no struggles. Like, you
Right.
still white. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have anything to do with you being gay. It has you be obnoxiously gay. That's what the problem is. Because you want so many things because you're gay. But
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
a white person all your life. So me as a black gay, I'm just like, why are we teaming up? It doesn't make sense for me. Like I have a joke about pronouns, which I think is dumb because like they still calling us nigger. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna utilize a pronoun. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna until they stop calling black people the hard ER,
Yeah.
them, they, her, him. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm cool. And that's like, so when I get around people in my community, they're just like, but black people in my community are they're understanding because they're
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's two separate communities, but they try to
Mhm.
lump us in together. But that's why I'm always like, oh, I'm black before I'm gay. Cause like,
Yeah.
I don't have no gay problems. I have Negro problems. You know what I'm saying?
Negro
I
problem.
ain't never been pulled over for being gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't never been like, get your gay ass out the car.
Ah, that's
So when
funny.
you want me to be out here marching for gay rights for
Yeah.
what? No, no way. So
So
like I
with
also and I make that funny. So like that's why I'm like, yo, I'm saying things that people are thinking but not saying, and I'm just
yeah.
saying making them funny. Like, come on, man. Like what?
So with you being a storyteller, how did you find or how are you finding the way to convey your message, whatever that is, when you go on stage? Seeing that, people see you one way, but then you come out, you may speak another way, and then
Right,
there's
right.
a certain label, a certain group of people who are not already accepting you. Well, a whole bunch of group of people that are not already accepting you for various different reasons.
My story to it's still just relatable because everybody's been in these situations, and like I just kind of feel good. It feels good to talk about them in a funny way, you know, like I date women, so like I have a lot of male fans because I'll say things like with in regards to dating women, and they're like, "Damn, like you go through the same things." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" You know what I'm saying? It don't make
Yeah,
no difference. I also like, but I also have a lot of male friends. So I have a perspective that I normally wouldn't get if I dated men because I'm not listening to you like I'm gonna listen to you as a man, but I'm not attracted to you, so I'm not distracted.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So then like I have women who can relate to the stories that I have in regards to like hanging out with my homeboys and things like that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's just like it's my life, but I just kind of I find humor in everything. I'm so goofy. Like I'm not a goofy but I laugh at so much stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
just find a lot of things funny, and I'm like, if I find it funny, I'm sure somebody else does. So let me see if I can like put a story together and then just like punch it up a bit
yeah,
to
yeah,
make it more relatable, and also just like um giving the story of pronouns and why we shouldn't. I'm making it funny, but like think about it. Like,
yeah,
should we be utilizing pronouns? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to give you some facts, but like, I want it to be funny, but I want you to think about it afterwards. Like,
mm,
like
yeah,
when I'm in the community, like everybody always just thinks I'm about the community. I'm not like, well, how do you feel about trans? And I'm like, you can live however you want to live. Like, if you feel like you're this person inside, but you're not on the outside, that's great. Like, live your truth. But genetics are still genetics. And if your dad if your dad was a 6'5" linebacker in high school, that shit is inside of you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's in your DNA. So even though you feel like a woman in the inside, when you're
yeah,
in a competition, your daddy shit is gonna kick up.
yeah,
So you're still who you are. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I respect who you are now, but we're not changing genetics. I mean, you just had some surgery. Like you still
yeah,
you. And like people don't talk about that. Like I'm just like, yeah, you just want us to be accepting of everything, but like some of this doesn't make sense. Like I can't just
yeah,
wholeheartedly accept things that aren't logical.
yeah, yeah, yeah. One
So I
thing I
feel like when it's from a gay person, it's easier to receive. Like because I'm gay, like how much backlash am I gonna get? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that was gonna be my next question. Like, I feel like with everything changing, I guess, or being more accepting, there aren't too many of people from your community that has the platform to speak. And then when someone that's heterosexual says something, then we caught flack, you know. And that's just a difference of the time period. But I've seen a trans person tell a trans joke and it's funny. So I'm just wondering, like, in what ways or opportunities, and what ways can people who are not of the community give you guys more opportunities to speak your truth instead of us who are not a part of that community try to speak the truth for you, if that makes sense.
You just have to allow someone from that. It's because it's muddled. Like in a sense, the heterosexual community, in my opinion, it's not that it's not accepting, it's just so many different narratives that are given. So it's
Mm,
just like really hard to like, what I'm saying, decipher what you want to be on board with and what you don't want to be on board with. What is acceptable, like, like you said a trans person said a trans joke and it's funny. But as a heterosexual, you're like, damn, can I laugh?
yeah,
Because what I'm saying? And at that point it's just like you have to be like, yes, because like that's their life. That's not your life. And like if they
yeah,
could stand up there and make a joke about it, then you should have the space to laugh about it. And then also like if you're giving, you should always be like, it's my opinion. Because like you never lived that life. Like a lot of us have lived a heterosexual life because that's just how society was designed before you decide what you want to be happy living as. So like, yeah, a lot of us can speak on that because we've lived that. But as far as you, like, how many y'all out here fucking men? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Where you got, what I'm saying, this expertise in this area. So you just have to be mindful, like, yeah, like heterosexual is the norm. So everybody knows how that lives. But like if homosexuality is not the norm, everybody doesn't know that. So just because your cousin or your sister or whatever, because you don't know what she felt or he felt internally during the time that they were figuring out who they were. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Just because you adjacent to it don't mean you went through it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right.
But it's just also not critiquing and just letting people leave. Like, if you don't like the gays, they don't have to like the gays. That's what I'm on. Like, you don't have to like the gays. Like, you know what I'm saying? The gays want everybody to like like us, regardless of how you feel. No, they don't have to like the gays.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
and that's what the community. I don't like that about the community. They just always trying to push the narrative. Like, we got to be accepted. No, you don't. Ask some blacks. We've been here a long time. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. One person that I actually like in this kind of game is Sam J, and I bring her up
Hmm.
because,
She's
um,
dope.
yeah, she's only been, well, when I looked her up, which was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. She at that point she had only been in the game for 6 years, but recently she just did. I don't know. I would say she was headliner. She sold out the, I guess it's TD Bank or whatever arenas in Boston.
Hmm.
So when you think of your comedic career and you get to the level that you aspire to be, like, what's one stage that when you touch your feet on that stage, you're gonna be like, dang, I know I've made
Listen, I'm LA all day, every day. It's
it.
it's it's crypto now, but it's Staples Center forever for us.
Yeah,
And for
yeah,
me, it's like I gotta perform in my city. Like this, my city. So once I'm able to, if I could sell out the crypto.com, that'll be great. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because like ideally for me, like comedic stages, like the Laugh Factory, all these things like I want to do, but like I really want to do it big and sell out the crypto and have all my people there.
I never really thought about it, but I'm thinking about it now that you said it. Like, I feel like the Staples Center, even though it's not called that anymore, I feel like the Staples Center is a big part of the culture. Would you say the same?
No, it is. Like Kobe built that. And we have a high level of respect for Kobe out here. So,
Yeah,
but like if you're really from here, we kind of knew already. Like the crypto center had bought it like 2 years before they renamed it. So like some of us already knew.
yeah, yeah,
But like when you think of it, you always going when you're downtown, it's always gonna be the Staples Center.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's never gonna be nothing else because that's where Kobe, Shaq, everybody played in the Staples Center.
I feel like people forget how great Kobe was because they never put him as one of the greatest players ever. They never put him in like the top 10. And I kind of feel like after the pandemic, I mean, people know that he's not alive anymore, but it's kind of like the
Hmm.
pandemic kind of erased his memory because like so many people died. Like we couldn't
Yeah,
even have time to grieve Kobe, like because we had so many other deaths to like think about.
that way. But like here in the city, we don't. It's murals everywhere.
Mm,
It's murals of him and Nipsey Hussle everywhere. But also like I kind of feel like the West Coast, we just are like our own little entity. So you know what I'm saying? Not to like, not on no like nobody else matters, but like me doing comedy now, I travel and I wasn't traveling as much as I'm traveling. Like I was traveling, but not to these like off-brand places I've been going to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, growing up in LA, in California, it's very diverse here. Like, it's so diverse. So when I go to the South, it's like going back in time for me because it's just not like that here. Like, you're like, God damn, like, it's Confederate flags everywhere here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's crazy. So I'm like, growing up here kind of pigeonholed me. It gave me tunnel vision because I didn't realize like the world outside of, because we have Koreans, Filipinos, like we have, it's a section here of everybody. So we grow up with everybody.
Yeah. 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 So
So
my fault. Go ahead.
no, no. I
When
was
you
just gonna
leave,
say it's a melting pot.
when you travel, are you traveling for comedy?
I travel for comedy, but I also just travel. Like I've been
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Singapore and Maldives and stuff, and that's just totally
Oh shoot,
international.
nigga,
Is
you
just
been to
totally different.
Singapore?
Hmm.
Nigga, I want to go there so bad.
You're gonna be a giant nigga there because everybody like 5 feet tall, and it ain't us. It ain't a lot of us there.
I
You gonna look
love
like
Singapore, man.
Black Godzilla walking around.
I love Singapore, bro. It's like I've
No, it's
never
beautiful. Like it was beautiful. And I was just like, God damn, like I'm huge here.
because like I think one day I looked up like I don't know how I found Singapore, but like it was before Crazy Rich Asians. I think I just looked up like Chinese islands that like speak English or whatever, and Singapore
Mhm.
popped up, and like I noticed how like so one thing I do like with like for my anxiety, like I'll look up people driving in different cities on YouTube and just like smoke and listen to music, and
Okay.
like it kind of give you for me it kind of gives me like a sense of like what the city like kind of looks like, you know what I'm saying, so I know
Hmm.
what to expect. And I was looking at Singapore, man. Singapore is so daggone clean. Like how was your experience in Singapore?
It's from a traveler's point of view, like aesthetically, it was great, but it's culturally it's weird because we're like anomaly. So it's a lot of staring. It's a lot of, so like yeah, you enjoy like all these things. Like yes, you're gonna enjoy it. And it's things like the food was great and like the atmosphere. And some people are nice, but it's just a lot of like, damn, we not everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when we're not everywhere, it's a lot of gawking and staring. Like even in the airport, like their airport is super. It's like a mega mall inside the airport. Like you can go to Dior or Gucci. You can have a concierge go shopping for you and bring it all back to your terminal where you're sitting. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's nice to see how other individuals live. It was
Yeah.
great. Like and I went like when the pandemic was kind of ending. So like
Oh, okay.
precautionary, let me tell you, America is lacking. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to precautions, like they were not fucking around in Singapore. Like, if you wasn't vaccinated or none of, they gave you a fucking wristband and you had to walk with a different group of people and you were separated from over here to over there. Like, they were not playing. And I'm like, in America, they just like, put your mask on. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Wear your mask.
All right,
Like, if you
so
didn't have a reservation, they wouldn't let you leave the airport. If you can show them that you had confirmation that you were staying somewhere in Singapore, you had to fly your ass back out of there.
oh heck, I get it though, but nah, I ain't doing that because
Right.
that's a long flight. That's 24 hours, right?
Right. Yeah, it was a 17-hour flight.
Mm-mm,
Yeah, it's a
mm-mm.
long flight.
Yeah, could not do that. All right, so Singapore, my fault. I just had to take that detour. Like I
No,
love
no.
Singapore. I ain't never met nobody that's ever actually been. So like, all right. So now doing comedy. What did your family and friends think about when you finally told them you were doing comedy?
All my friends was like, you should have been doing that because they always used to tell me I was funny. But my
Mm-hmm.
family, they typical like, so you just like I still work, but I don't work where I used to work. So for them it's just about, but that's because we have a poverty mindset.
Yeah.
So it's just like you don't leave that good job and go do something that you ain't never did. And then my age, like I don't look my age, but I'm very seasoned. I've lived a life. So I'm 45, but I don't look 45. So
Oh
like
my gosh, nigga, you 45?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
like, you know,
the Whitney
right.
Houston needed to smoke the crack
Right.
that because listen,
I know
oh
I'm
my
aging
god,
backwards. So
that's
like, you know,
crazy.
but that's just your mindset. But once they saw like they came to my shows or saw my clips and just realized like because they don't know, they know Karina. Like
Mhm.
Kaydott is the comedian. So they're like, oh, okay, you funny. You know what I'm saying? You can do this. But I'm also like, you can do anything if somebody nurture you and pour into you.
Right.
So we can
How
do anything.
how many years have you been doing comedy?
Professionally now for 3.5 years.
What's the difference between professionally and amateur
For
for
me,
you?
professionally is when I started getting paid. when when you start getting paid, it's professional.
So how many years before professionally?
A year and a half, a year and a
S-
half.
So I want to speak. I want you to speak to this, like being 45 and starting something new at
Hmm.
at what some would consider late in the game. How did you? Because I feel like at certain, I don't know what age, maybe somewhere in the 30s, people get content and they like, this is who I am. I'm not doing nothing else. I
Hmm.
do this this is what I'm doing. Like, how did you have like the motivation and the courage to be like, I'm going for this dream when so many people can be like, it's too late to go for it?
Number one, I was miserable in my corporate job. It just didn't make me happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And your life is about your happiness. Like, if you're not happy, you're not living. You know what I'm saying? You're just existing. And I kind of feel like when you get a certain age, like, you know better. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know how to step out on faith. I know because I've done it before, because I've lived
Hmm.
a life. You know, as opposed to when you're younger, you don't have all these experiences that you can live, you know what I'm saying, that you've lived that you can review and be like, okay, I did this and this is what happened. So if I don't do that, this is probably what's going to happen because I've done it already.
Right.
And it's just like, and then I kind of feel like for me too, like I'm just different because like the world evolved. I learned years ago that like you have to evolve. The world changes. So like even though I'm my age, I'm very up on things and this and that because how I learn things is totally different from how people learn things now. So you have to be receptive to what somebody who hasn't been on earth long as you can bring to it. Like I learned everything on the internet from my godson. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because he's young. But I have to be in a space to receive that. I can't be stuck in my ways like, oh, you got to work hard and go pound to pay. No, if you don't have to do that, nigga, show me, because I don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Right.
and a, and a lot of people my age are just rooted in how we were raised. And like, no, like you have to evolve to be a better person. And I always want to be the best version of me as long as I'm on earth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. One thing I want to ask you now is seeing. Well, I've never actually asked somebody this, and I've always been curious. I feel like black people, we write from our trauma, right? And I feel like as
hmm
comedians, sometimes, not all of us, but sometimes we do as well. And you seeing so much in your lifetime, you're seeing Rod, and being
hmm
from LA too, you've seen Rodney King, and recently with like LA killing three unarmed black people, just seeing like how life kind of repeats itself or how life hasn't changed. How do you try not to write about the trauma, or do you talk about it to address it? Like, how do you write being a black person and like trying not to convey trauma, or do you like go the opposite route and talk about the trauma?
I talk about it, but not in a traumatic way. I'd say that's how we do. Like comedy is how we deal with mental health. Like That's our outlet. That's our therapy for some of us, that we find humor in the pain. For me, I just try to be, like I said, I make my comedy for me more mindful of the event so we don't repeat. A lot of things that we're repeating is because we're not unifying as a people to combat the things that are happening to us, even though we visually see them. So, like, I try to address the issues and talk about it in a humorous way. Like, I talk about homelessness. Like, I may make fun of it, but I'm also like, how are we really gonna combat it if we helping it?
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just about teetering it. Like, but I also like, I give my comedy. If it's a white audience, I make them uncomfortable all the time because I'll ask them things like, "What do you guys feel about white lives matter?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
ask it. Like, why do you think your life matters? Like, tell me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we can have a discussion. And like one lady asked me, and I told her, like, we don't feel like it that way because I've never seen any interview of any white person who said the police have murdered my cousin Tom. Like, I never
Yeah.
see that. So you want me to
Ah!
believe your white life matter, but I've never seen nobody kill y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So like that's how I do it. But like I'm addressing the trauma, but I'm just giving a humorous perspective on it as opposed to like I'm always like, don't watch those videos and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm always because we're so desensitized. Like for me growing up in LA, I've seen so much stuff. Like I'm really desensitized to a lot of things. And that's not normal. And that's what I
Yeah.
want. That's what we should understand as a people. Like the things that we're desensitized to, we shouldn't be.
Yeah, I had to stop watching them videos. Like, I mean, of course you see
Yeah.
them when you see them when you first
The
get on
clips
social
and things.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, I ain't trying to watch this. Like, I just make myself aware. But I just like after like Mike Brown, like it just, I felt like I feel like probably after Mike Brown, like it would stop, and then another one happened. You'd be like, okay, I think it'll stop, and then like you just keep seeing it and seeing it. And it's like, okay, I can't keep taking this
Because
in for myself.
it's all rooted in fear. Like I would never encourage you as a black man. Like I never want y'all to watch any of that stuff because all you're doing is putting yourself in that position because that could be you.
Yeah,
So like, and that's where a lot of the aggression comes from when like, no, I can't not resist because I've seen too much stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I would love to resist if the encounters with police weren't leading to the actual situation I'm in. So it's just and it's just programming. Like and these are all my perspectives in my opinion. Everybody might not think like this, but it keeps happening because when I say it's rooted in fear, like if you notice when things happen, laws change and things change, and that's based on fear from somebody else, hoping that we don't realize like, okay, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we
yeah,
need to do something about this. We need to stop that. So like if now you see more attacks on our people from law enforcement, it's because they scared. Because now we're even more adamant about like fuck y'all and like
yeah.
it's so much so it's like, you know, like I expect it to always happen because if you're in those positions, if you are a police officer, now you're even more scared. So like you're gonna react in more fear based. So like this is gonna continue as all the people who are faced
Oh shit. See how the white man do? As soon as you start talking, the signal went out. Um, Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, cool. Well, we get Kaydott back on. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, you fine. You flipped upside down. There you go. Now you good.
Okay, my bad.
No, you fine. You fine. Can you hear me?
Cause I'm in the shit on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Okay,
now.
cool. My fault. Yeah. Soon as it must
No,
be
no, it's
cops watching
okay.
because as soon as you start talking about cops, it went out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But that's how it is. You know, it's always Big Brother.
um,
Big Brother
yeah,
is
man.
everywhere.
But
But no, I feel you. I thought it would
yeah,
stop too, but it ain't
yeah.
set up for us. Society ain't set up for us to be successful like
Now,
that.
one thing I did learn about LA culture that I had no clue. Of course, I don't live out there, but
All right.
you guys don't have what's the word I could say? The word I wrote down was corporate donuts. Like, you know how corporations like Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts, you guys don't
Oh
have
yeah.
none of that. You guys have only like local shops. Like, have you ever had like a corporation's donut or you just strictly had like local donuts?
No, like we got local donuts. You know what I'm
Because I don't think
saying?
people know.
No.
Like, y'all don't have like nearly any of them out there. Because the Koreans or whatever, not the Koreans, the Cambodians, I think, or the Vietnamese, one of them, they they was like
One of them. That's
they was.
racist.
Uh, but no, man, like y'all kicked them out. Like corporations try to come in there, and they was like, "Nah, like we feeding our family." Like, so I was wondering, like,
No, we
what?
got corporations. It's just like they're not like that. Like we got like Raytheon and like Boeing, but everything is like military based.
Okay, okay,
So like
okay.
that's where all the engineering for the planes and the things of that nature. But like yeah, it's more local stuff here than
Okay.
I mean, we got the normal food chains like Popeyes. Like we don't have the things that like I enjoy that are in other states. Like we don't have no Papados, and like I love Papados.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like so we
Yeah,
don't
I've
have that.
not.
We don't have. We just got Chick-fil-A. Like I want to say that was just like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Cause Chick-fil-A had been in Texas. Cause my parents are from the South.
Oh, okay.
So I was just, it was like a lot of things. I was just like, damn, we don't have Chick-fil-A. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they start franchising out here. So
Okay,
yeah, we
okay.
do. But now we just have a lot of fucking tacos and burritos.
Oh, all right. So, who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
My Mount Rushmore comedy is Robin Harris. I love Robin Harris. Martin Lawrence. What else I like? For women, I always put some more. Like a lot of people don't know. Like I guess because I'm old, but some more.
Hmm.
And then Richard Pryor. Because
Hmm.
anybody that can like do crack and get burned and still come back and like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do comedy. I don't care what y'all know. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, yo, all of us can make it. Yo, this nigga did a lot of shit. He grew up in a brothel. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So, and his life turned out great. So,
yeah. I don't think people really realize how, except for in LA, I don't think people really realize how important, how funny, and how much of an icon Robin Harris is for real, for real.
yeah. Robert Harris is the man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had like his own room, and I heard like the Bebe Kids joke. Like he would tell like every week because people would just come to hear that specific joke. I think it was in the Uptown comedy club that he had down there. I
Club,
think that was
yeah.
the name of it.
Yeah, and he used to host and just riff on people in the audience. So yeah, like, and that's hard to like the same joke to be funny over and over and over again,
Yeah,
especially if you know it. And
yeah,
everybody know that joke.
yeah, yeah. All right, so as we start to wrap things up here, K Dot, what is like some words of encouragement or words of motivation you can give to any comedian that is watching this right now?
Don't rush the process, trust the process. It's work. You know, if you're passionate about it, stay at it. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't let your age pigeonhole you. Don't let your circumstances pigeonhole you. Just stay at it because the money is gonna come. Like don't just work towards the money, work towards the freedom of being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So those are
Listen,
my words.
I needed that because the
There you
freedom, like I hate
go.
working in corporate America, man.
Right.
I remember I got in trouble because I was using the bathroom too much. I'm like, dang, a nigga just can't take a
Man.
shit. God
No,
dang,
I'm
like
saying they be in trouble. They be like, "So where were you on your break?" Fuck. Not at my desk. Shit.
if I fart, you gonna want to know that too? Like,
No,
god
I'm saying
dang.
corporate America had you stressed out. That's why that's why I started smoking because I had to decompress after work. I used to be like, man, I'm so uptight because I can't custody you out. You know what I used to hate. Like, what about pet peeves of corporate America? Like, did you work in the office or you was work from home all the time?
I'm a hybrid, so I do both.
Okay. When I'm in the elevator and motherfuckers just come in and you try to get out, like, where are you in a rush to? Like, we here now.
I definitely started smoking when life was not going the way I thought it should go. And I was like, and I was working at a warehouse for Amazon. Don't ever work there.
Oh,
It's a
no, don't.
freaking slave ship. And then damn, something else that you said. Oh, where are we going? Oh, I knew corporate America wasn't for me when I would freaking run to the office to try to clock in on time. I was like, nigga, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, these niggas got you leaping over
all
to
right,
get to here on time.
I'm like,
That's just gonna,
I don't even try to get to church on time. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
yeah. And I don't know. And then it's just like, and then my other advice is like, really look at your checks because you ain't really making no money. You know what I'm saying? For the time, like the time that you give them as opposed to what they pay you, especially if you like, the only thing that ever had me like not wanting to be gay was like a fucking kid because I was like, taxes is high. You know, it's just like, maybe I can fuck a man one time. Maybe I can fuck a man one time, get me somebody I can claim,
that's
and live a little better. My take home will be a little better, but then that's another mouth to feed. Fuck.
yeah, I
So
know.
no, but smoking, I think smoking is sometimes like for us. If you had like, I have anxiety too, and my mind races. So like people don't understand. Like I smoke because it really slows everything down for me, where I can actually configure things and concentrate.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, so I started doing comedy in 2019, and in 2020, it
Mm,
was my anxiety was just like super high. I remember at one point I was like throwing up like every day for like a month and a half,
man,
and when I was when I still do to this day, like when I do comedy, I smoke. I try to smoke like an hour before I go on because I used to be so nervous when I used to go up there. I would not look at nobody. I would look at like the top of everybody's heads, and I would like run the light because I just was not looking. And then
uh,
I haven't had one in a while, but I've definitely had like panic attacks on stage before. Like I've definitely done that before. So, and those are kind of hard to hide.
no, I
So the
have to
weed
because
definitely
I'm just
helps.
like the weed helps me in my when I do white audiences because my anxiety is so high. Like I'm not even gonna lie because I'm like they're savages and like I just can't. Calm down, calm down. You know what you did to our people. Like I'm up there tripping.
I'm the opposite, man. I think I get more anxious when I'm in black crowds, but certain black crowds, like black crowds that
The
are like
niggas.
I'm cool sometimes with the niggas. Like I can do the niggas. I can do nigga rooms. I just don't stay there. Like as soon as I'm done, I'm
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I'm out too. Thank you for
but
having me.
for me, it's like it's like the black people that are like my age, like in the 30s, like the
Oh,
millennials. Like, I don't know. It's like they don't get it. They just sit there and like, I don't know, they don't get it. I don't know. They don't get comedy. They just I don't know. They don't get it. They don't get it. That's
I
been
don't
my
know.
experience.
I understand. I understand what you're saying because it's very much so make me laugh. But you're supposed to
Yeah.
come. You're supposed to come to laugh. Like
Yeah.
because I don't know you're funny. Like I don't know what makes you laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I understand what you're saying. But my advice to that is fuck them.
Yeah. That's what I posted it. I didn't do so good as I thought I was gonna do on my last show. And I told him at the end, I was like, F y'all, I know I'm funny. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck
like
y'all. I
because
don't
like
know.
I'm
All of
like,
those people are strangers. Like when I tell you like you're a stranger to me.
yeah,
Like I've been around some comedy greats. Like the guy who I do the podcast with, he's really good friends with Jamie Foxx. And
yeah.
Jamie Foxx is like the greatest entertainer. He sing, he do comedy, he act. I was like, damn. So if he told me like, if Jamie Foxx told me to keep at it, fuck a millennial. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just do your craft. I watch the clips and everything. You feel like you funny to me. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? You
I
funny to
appreciate that.
me.
Yeah.
So it's
That
just like, but it's also supporting each other. Like I said, if you're not funny, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I do
yeah.
not lie. I'll be like, ooh, Ty, let's try to punch that one up a little bit.
Oh man, hey man,
I'm
tell
not saying it stink, but I'm gonna say it don't smell good.
oh man, nah, that day I ate shit. I think it was because like I be forgetting with black crowds, like you can only do so much. And then like I feel like the black women there were trying to be like supportive of the white women because I was talking shit about white people, like about who was spiffy
Oh
about white
man.
women. And I'm like, wait a minute, these the same women that's trying to take y'all's man. Like what are you
What's
doing?
wrong with y'all? What kind of
Yeah.
wine y'all selling in here? What kind of white wine y'all selling in here?
Hey man,
Nah.
tell people why they should listen to comedians in bed.
You should listen to comedians in bed because number one, we know what we're doing. We go over things over and over. We have to make sure our sets are solid. So if we're in bed, we're making sure that sex is solid because we went over, over and over and over again. Okay, so listen to comedians in bed.
Kaydott, man, tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on IG at underscore KAYDOTT. On Facebook, I've had it for so long. It's my real name, which is Karina Wells, which I love, but I don't look like a Karina. So K dot was just more appropriate. And then on TikTok, K dot comedy. I'm really trying to work on my TikToks. I'm really bad at posting, but I'm gonna get better.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to watch next week's episode, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy. Have I been telling you that? Yeah, TYE Comedy. Also, if you want to catch the audio version, we're available wherever you listen to podcasts, man. We have the beautiful and the wonderful K Dot from LA
Thank you for
here
having me. Thank
today.
you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Thank you for joining us, man. We'll see you guys next week.
for sure.